course, the All-Star race tomorrow night. And
hold on. Oops.
Brad, this racetrack truck's getting on for the very first time. Traction compound down, the heat. What kind of challenge awaits these guys and gals today?
Oh, no doubt, Vince. There's a big challenge in front of these drivers.
Those words I want to hear. Traction
compound.
compound.
I've done it once or twice here before, Joey, and I got to tell you, this is not the weekend I wanted to do double duty, because that PJ1 out on this very hot, slick racetrack behind us is going to be so slick to start the race. And to go with that, we have two Cup drivers starting in the middle of the field, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that they're very nervous about the start of this race, and they should be. This is going to be very treacherous to start. You better have your eyes open.
And, Joey, how about the urgency that these guys are dealing with as well? Only a handful of races left in the regular season. I mean, it's time to go. You can't afford bad days or big mistakes at this stage of the season.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got 5 races left. You have 4 drivers within 17 points, and you're going to a racetrack like
imagine paying money to go to Texas Motor Speedway and sit out in the sun in what feels like 99-degree weather. They said it's like 90 there, but it feels like 99. Fuck, I feel sorry for everybody at that place today. Hello, DFS. Prayers to everyone at Texas Motor Speedway. It is hot.
In the first few laps, so we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm sure they're excited.
3 streams today, guys. 3 streams today. Trucks, Xfinity, SRX. It's a busy day. IndyCar's racing, but I'm watching NASCAR stuff like I always do.
Here to give the command to start engines for today's SpeedyCash.com 220. Please welcome owners of Slayton Speedway, along with their kids and grandkids, Karen and Jerry McGuire.
Drivers, start your engines!
Congratulations on being first.
5 of the 7
I don't know what you get for being first, but you were first.
Contested right here at Texas Motor Speedway. We've got it for you next.
Oh boy, I got a challenge in front of me today. 3 streams, like I said, trucks, Xfinity, SRX. Then I got to work tonight. I don't know if I can make it, man. I mean, I want to make it through these streams. I don't know if I can go do my job tonight, though. Like, I am just, I'm already sleepy. I mean, yesterday, I think I fell asleep last night around 7:30. Got up around midnight to play online with my friends. Went back to bed at like 3:30. Woke up off and on between 8 and 10 this morning. I wanted to sleep all the way up until the truck race, but didn't work out, and I'm already getting sleepy. Dude, I have to work tonight. We're not doing an extra stream tomorrow unless y'all want to pay me. So as far as I know, tomorrow it'll just be the All-Star Open at 6 and the All-Star Race at 8. Because, like I said, I got to stream 3 times today and work tonight. Although I'm having doubts about working tonight. I had doubts the other day and I made it through, but I was not a particularly cheerful person before, during, or after work Thursday night. I need to take a break between streams. I got to take a shower before I go to work tonight. So between the Xfinity race and the SRX, I'm stopping the streams to take a shower. My whole life revolves around work because it pays, and this doesn't pay. And until this starts paying, which it probably never will, I have to make sacrifices. I hate that I'm sleepy right now. I'm looking forward to watching this race, but I feel like I could take a fucking nap. And the same people that fucking bug me to death are bugging me right now, messaging me. I don't fucking care. I wish people would shut the fuck up and stop texting me. But anyway, yeah, that's why I cannot do a continuous stream today. I have to stop and shower and prep for work. And then as soon as the SRX is over, around the time it's over, it'll probably be time to go to work. Let me look at my guide here on my cable. See when the SRX is expected to end. I know it starts at 8. When does it end? 10 o'clock, yeah. I'll make it to work. But I'm still having doubts about working. Hey, Michael. Just bitching about my day. I'm happy. I should be thrilled to death about watching all these races and shit today, but I gotta work tonight, so why would I be fucking thrilled? Jeez. I hope I can make it through tonight. Michael, before you got on here, I said imagine paying money to go to Texas Motor Speedway and sit out in 100-degree weather. For even, like, Trucks and Xfinity's probably going to be good, but imagine doing that for an all-star race with barely 500 horsepower and shitty cars you can't pass with or race with in any way. Texas Motor Speedway! Fuck this place. Tell you what, I'd rather be there than where I'm going to be tonight. Brad and Joey in the booth today. Hello, Robert. We have two Roberts.
Kyle Busch has won a couple on the mile and a half, Atlanta and Kansas. And then
If my fans blow into the mic, I apologize. It's hot in here.
70% of the laps on the mile and a half. So will that
I will do my best to make sure it doesn't blow into the mic.
Brad, what do you think? We try to speak with John Hunter.
Let's do it. How about a John Hunter, Brad Keselowski in the FS1 booth? You got a copy?
Is NASCAR trying to kill NASCAR?
Absolutely. Well, there's nobody hotter right now in the truck series. You're having a career season, and man, I got to tell you, you're fun to watch. But my teammate Joey,
Ooh, traction compound applied because it's totally necessary.
I told him he's crazy. What are you thinking? How are you going to deal with the PJ1?
Chase Elliott is in the truck race today. Josh Berry is in the truck race today. Josh Berry's doing double duty today. John Hunter Nemechek signed on to run some Xfinity races for Gibbs throughout this year. That's exciting.
I hear that. Hear that. Well, good luck to you today.
Well, I hear that. I'll do you, Brad.
Thank you, guys.
Brad, that was supposed to be a joke.
I think we're going green next time by.
It's always funnier when it's sent from the booth, right? Not so funny when you got the wheel in your hand.
Today's pick, just because I don't care, I just said give me Ross Chastain. Maybe I'll get lucky and win like $12. Apparently next year, the next gen car is going to be 600 to 650 horsepower everywhere they go. It's better than 550, so I'll take it. If the next gen car is what they say it is and it's 650, I can live with that. Low downforce 650 for the next gen car.
Both of those drivers as well are looking for something good to happen. Derek Kraus and Drew Dollar still hoping to be contenders today, and we've got 36 drivers in the field, and we'll show you the rest of those there on the bottom of the screen. Couple of Cup guys in.
Boy, Fox, you really suck. You can't even show the starting lineups anymore. That's a nice truck Chase Elliott's in.
Well, he's got a short race tomorrow. Why not run another one today and see what that traction compound's going to be like? Probably a good race to run.
Yeah, got a new sponsor on his truck, too. But I'm looking also at Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain, the other Cup driver in the field. We talked about two of them.
I hate my life, guys.
In the middle of the pack, they're going to have their hands full at the start of this race.
I wish I made money streaming so I don't have to go suffer tonight.
Looking forward to having a couple of the Cup guys with us today and the truck series.
Oh well.
Let's go down and check in with our pit reporters, Jamie.
I don't get to have any fun. I don't get to not do things I don't like.
Here in Texas, you know, the last time that we were at the racetrack in Charlotte, Sheldon Creed had an extremely fast truck, but unfortunately, a caution and a wreck relegated him to a 35th place.
35th.
Not all was lost in that race, so that was a brand new truck a couple weeks ago. The truck that they ran had a bunch of new components in that race vehicle. He felt great about where it was, said we are back to where we used to be, when even if I don't like the handling, I have very good speed.
Elliott wins, you get 90. If Chastain wins, you get 55. Well,
In championship form once again. JB Little.
I don't know why I picked Chastain. I thought about picking Hocevar. I thought about taking a chance on Carson Hocevar, but I'm not quite ready yet to take a chance on him. Maybe in the near future I'll pick him.
Charlotte Motor Speedway. A huge wreck at the end. Right there, Johnny Sauter plows into him. Thankfully, he was able to walk
Yeah, there's
away.
Johnny Sauter sitting in his roll cage at Charlotte.
Team, no, they have dominated this race many times at Texas Motor Speedway as 5-time winners. Now they brought back a truck and a setup that have gone to victory lane at this very track. They're hoping luck turns around today and they get back.
I don't
to their
know much about
way.
the specs and stuff of the
Well, they would be
trucks,
right on time,
DFS,
Jamie, because
honestly.
As we look at the playoff standings, you'll see that Johnny Sauter is currently on the playoff bubble, and as Joey Logano was mentioning just a short while
Looking
ago,
forward to the Xfinity race.
Jerry Grant, I mean,
You know,
it's tight around
I'm
the
really
spot.
intrigued by the SRX. I love the fact
outside
that we're going to watch a race tonight, the SRX. I don't know what to expect in that. I've never watched anything like SRX. I don't know what the hell it's going to be like.
A lot of things can happen in one lap here in Texas.
Yeah, I'm looking at these drivers, Austin Waynesell, Chandler Smith.
Wish I could watch IndyCar, but I'm not
And
picking
thinking, oh,
IndyCar over
boy, you know,
NASCAR.
their stomach's in a knot right now.
I'm more invested in
How much
trucks and
time left to get
Xfinity
the
than I
playoffs,
am
but they are
IndyCar.
Right there, a lot of pressure on these guys today.
And keep in mind, Tyler Ankrum, you see him 13th there, 17 points behind the cut line. He's made up 48 points in the last 2 weeks. And counting today, we've got 5 races to go. So if you think Haley Deegan is out of it at minus 42 or Carson Hocevar is completely safe at plus 45, not necessarily the case, because Ankrum in the last 2 weeks, it's been a 48-point swing for him. So
Oh, I
what
don't
can
know
happen
DFS.
here in these
I don't know about the
remaining
chassis
races.
or the spec. We're
Jamie,
going
we'll
green
track
next time,
construction at a mile and a half, and
Everybody's favorite racetrack.
mile and a half racetrack.
We got rid of Kentucky in one Texas race. Can we just get rid of Texas altogether
This
now?
one's plenty unique from end to end for sure. 1 and 2 being very flat. Got a lift out of the
People
gas
act
on
like
3 and
Texas
4.
didn't suck
I
before
call
the
this longest
reconfiguration.
straightaway in NASCAR, not Pocono, because you were on the gas off of turn 2 all the way through 3 and 4. You're not lifting for the most part all the way back to get to turn 1. So that run you get off of turn 2
It's
is gonna
hot,
carry
it's slick. I
for a
expect
mile
a
and a
lot
half
of wrecks
before
today,
you come out
guys.
of the
In the
gas
truck
tank.
series, I expect a lot of wrecks.
147
because it's
laps,
so damn
over
hot and slick.
220 miles, and our stages, the
This
first
could
two
be a
stages will
longer race than you would
35
think.
laps apiece, and that final
Considering all the
stage
cautions
at
I think we're gonna
77
have.
laps, our pit window, and each team will get 4 sets of tires, the 1 on truck and 3 laying in pit lane.
You know, Brad, we've been talking about how this traction compound is going to be a little slick here to start. I'd be just as nervous if I'm the car on the bottom, because the outside guy is going to be pinning that truck to the white line. You're not going to have any
Oh, you
air
can
in
just
your
tell
truck
it's
when the
hotter
truck
than the
driver's trying
devil's
to stay
dick
on the
out there.
traction compound till it comes
That's
in. So
rough.
it's
I'm
gonna
glad
be
I'm not there.
Crazy first couple laps. You're going to see
Because
some
it's
cars
Texas
at
Motor
least probably,
Speedway and it's hot.
Well, this will be a fun one for sure.
Yeah, eyes wide open. This is going to be a big start.
Eyes wide shut.
John Hunter Nemechek and Ben
Nemechek, Rhodes,
on the front row.
Hocevar, and
John
Todd
Hunter down
Gilliland.
on the inside, and Ben Rhodes on the outside.
Hold 'em down.
Getting ready for the green.
The green
and it is
flag.
out. We're racing at Texas.
Texas Motor Speedway. Will they make it through the first lap?
Side through one.
I'm glad that bottom groove is just about wide enough to run 2 trucks too wide out of the traction compound. Down the back, Austin Hill passes Hocevar, dives under Gilliland in 3. Rhodes and Nemechek are side by side in 3 and 4.
Alongside.
Nemechek can't kick clear off of 4. Rhodes is going to lead this lap.
Wide on the first lap. We know the track is just this treacherous.
But I think going into 1 here, Nemechek will take it, and he does. Rhodes led the first lap. Nemechek gets up the hill. He gets tight
We'll see how it treats him.
on the exit of 2, and now Rhodes is to his inside.
Austin in the lead here is Ben Rhodes with a big run down
Man, why do the trucks race so good here, but the Cup cars are shit? Austin Hill's pulling up on these guys.
Still side by side for the lead.
Oh, Rhodes loose in 4, and now Nemechek passes him back. And Rhodes is real loose off of 4. Nemechek gets away with the lead. Gilliland around the outside of Hill for 3rd. Gilliland's got his right sides up in the sticky shit.
These drivers are running really
Austin
smart
Hill
race.
back
I'll
to
give
his
them a lot of
inside.
credit to start here. No practice.
Nobody's spun. I'm surprised.
This is a great start for these
I thought there
guys.
was a chance they'd wreck on like lap 1 or 2.
Todd Gilliland side by side for 3rd. Hill
Austin Hill would have been a good pick today, I think. He's due, but I'm getting sick of picking by the law of averages because of guys like Denny Hamlin and Austin Hill.
This is a golden opportunity for them to get win number 1 of the campaign, and Gilliland slips into that 4th spot. Stuart Friesen starting to creep up the challenge.
Friesen in the top
Gilliland's
5.
working that edge of that PJ1 really
Up
hard
to
here. It's costing
4th.
a few spots, but
If he can
has
clear
the right
Gilliland.
run to tell.
Yeah, if you can be the first one to get it working, you usually can get those.
You guys hear Jeff Gordon may be leaving the Fox booth at the end of the year? Well, I mean, after today or tomorrow, excuse me.
You're the first one there. It's a nerve-wracking feeling.
Let me know if my fan's making a lot of noise. I'm sorry, guys. It's really hot.
It happens really quick when it does.
Yeah, you feel like you're
Friesen
driving
to
off the edge of a
fourth.
cliff right there. You're
Zane
running
Smith
on
to
the edge.
fifth. No, he's loose on the bottom.
Is it a
Well,
slip
they look
between
slow
wheels?
out there.
The truck is loose?
Don't they look slow?
How do you feel when you get in that traction compound and it's early laps?
Everybody looks really slow,
It's just unpredictable.
but
You know,
somehow
sometimes
loose
it'll
and out of
happen,
control at the
sometimes
same
it won't.
time.
And when it does, you feel like Superman, and when it doesn't,
30 to go
you
in
just don't know
stage
where you're
1.
gonna end up.
Not super.
Wow, they made it 5 laps without a commercial.
Like Clark Kent, right?
This draft you get down there frustrated. That's one thing
All these guys go shallow into turn 1. They try to take that defensive line so they can keep down on the bottom. Because they know if you get off the bottom in 1 and 2, you're probably in trouble.
You're not going anywhere. You're going to see the same thing in the All-Star race tomorrow.
Good battles all the way across the track here.
Sheldon Creed in that 2 truck.
You know, as much as I've been talking shit about the All-Star race format, it's probably the best thing for an All-Star race at Texas Motor Speedway. And I understand the format a lot better now that I've read it about 30 times.
Creed looking to make the move on him for position.
What is the deal with the 18's paint scheme? Whoa! Sheldon Creed up at the traction compound, spins out. Did he back it into the wall? Yes, he did. Caution's out. Creed put all 4 wheels in the traction compound in 2 and lost it and backed it into the wall. Caution's out. Well, I'm glad I didn't pick him today. He was one of the guys I was thinking about.
Break this down a little bit. Looks like he tries to make a run to the bottom. It's not going to stick, so he gets a little bit loose here. Slides
Got a
up in,
little
so he's
arrow
okay right
tight,
now.
I'd say.
He gets all 4 in the
And then when he
traction
gets all
compound,
4 up in the
not gonna
compound as
stick.
he's already heading up the
Yeah, I think
hill,
what
there's just
happened
no
there is he
grip.
tried to make
Backs
the
it in the
move,
wall.
tried to get the truck in front of him to give him a little bit of space on
That
the
truck will
inside.
keep running. They just got to put
that truck
the
in front of him. Who
the
is
bed
that?
down on the back of it.
Derek Krause, in
Derek
the
Krause,
19,
yes. Comes across, takes
Joe
the
Logano,
air
who's calling the
off
race, doesn't know who's driving the
of
19.
Sheldon Creed, and I think that's what made him start going up the racetrack, Brad, and then got into the traction compound that wasn't
And
quite
we
there
have a
enough to make it
caution.
needed, and around she goes.
Hocevar dropped like a rock at the start of this race, all the way back to 9th place. Really impressed with Austin Hill and Stuart Friesen early. Not surprised to see Nemechek leading the thing. Chase Elliott's up to 17th.
Sheldon came on the radio right after that accident, said completely my fault. A move that he knew he probably shouldn't have made right there.
I think that wreck might have gave NASCAR a new idea for their next aero package. You see how fucking pushed up that back end was?
Creed does have a win already this season. He got that at Darlington, so he is playoff secure, but it is a costly
And we have a caution.
mistake early on for the defending series.
Nemechek out front. Same shit, different week, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Hope y'all are having a good day. I wish I'd have gotten a little bit better sleep last night, but somebody motivate me. I don't want to work tonight. But I'm a dumbass who will anyway, because I sacrifice happiness for money. I wish it wasn't so hot in here. So, take note, the traction compound has not been activated yet, because it was like Sheldon Creed hit a patch of ice when he went up there. How do we change NASCAR presidents? We impeach them and hold an election. Don't you wish NASCAR presidents and shit could be elected? It'd be just as corrupt as, like, how the United States elects a president, but I think we should at least have a fake democracy. Impeach Steve Phelps. If the next gen car has 650 horsepower, he can keep his job. I'm glad that they are leaning towards let's have the same horsepower everywhere. I don't like making the teams have to prepare differently for like, oh, we've got more horsepower this week versus the less we had last week. I don't like having to change spoilers and shit every week. Can we just run the same goddamn car everywhere, please? When's the last time we ran the same cars and engines at every race of every season except the Super Speedway? Because the Super Speedways have always been different. What, 2018 was the last time we ran the same shit everywhere. Ever since, it's been a mixed bag. Hand-breaded chicken and waffle sandwich. You know, that looks fucking delicious, Hardee's. God. I don't see Chastain's name in the top 12 yet on my leaderboard here, but he's my pick today for the money. And we're back.
NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Texas Motor Speedway. Welcome back to the SpeedyCash.com.
Sheldon Creed had him an IndyCar moment at Texas.
Vince Welch under caution because of this incident involving Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, that's a good view of it. When Derek Krause came down across the racetrack and took all the air.
Let's see what Twitter thinks about Sheldon Creed touching the traction compound and automatically spinning out.
He started moving to the right side of him, and then he's going up. He almost had it saved. Brad and I were talking about it. We almost had
Told you there's no grip out here anyway. It's hot as shit.
Went around the rest of the way.
Yeah, pretty significant damage here with the I guess you would call this the trunk bed, tailgate bed. Torn off and
NASCAR says Ben Rhodes is the new leader because John Hunter Nemechek did not maintain speed under caution. So Ben Rhodes has been declared the new leader under caution.
Had an issue. Crafton was running inside the top 10. What's the problem there, Jamie?
Yeah, he said when that caution came out suddenly in 3 and 4, he had no power, so they brought it down pit road. They thought maybe it was a battery issue, unplugged, came down, plugged it back in, and he's back up to power now. So they took some fuel. He's being shown last and a lap down. This is another team that just can't risk.
And Matt Crafton's struggling.
In that playoff contention.
Yeah, Crafton currently 7th in the point standings, and he had an engine issue at Charlotte last time out. Ended up 30th in that one, so lost significant points there. So as Jamie mentioned, you can't be giving points away.
I want to see the SRX run Daytona and Talladega, don't you guys?
When something fixes itself, it's probably not fixed.
yeah.
DFS, you're asking questions that are never going to come to pass.
Well, I don't know. I mean, your phone locks up. Sometimes you have to restart it. Maybe that's what's happening. You know, some kind of electronic.
How about we
issue, I don't know.
destroy all the traction compound in the world? How about that?
Rhodes and Nemechek again will restart on the front row. And what a season it's been for Ben Rhodes. A career best year, while John Hunter Nemechek has garnered much of the attention. You can't overlook what Rhodes has done. He won the first 2 races of the season. You see his average finish at 6 points.
Hopefully we get some sort of consistency and stability when the next gen car comes in next year, and we don't see fucking rules changes every 6 weeks to a year. And we just have the NASCAR Cup Series be the NASCAR Cup Series and never change. Let's just get some consistency, please.
That says something right there. That means you're solid. You're not having bad races.
So interestingly, Ben Rhodes, the new leader, because Nemechek didn't maintain speed, picked the outside line.
And there's a guy you're extremely familiar with, Chase Elliott. He is back in the 16th position. First truck series of
I want to see the SRX run Daytona and Talladega. Or at least just Daytona. I want it to be just like IROC, man. I want to hit Michigan, Daytona, Richmond, like all the old IROC tracks. Especially, I bet SRX at Michigan will be fucking incredible.
It takes a couple laps to figure out which way's up before you feel comfortable hustling that thing. I'm sure he's going to get more and more comfortable and continue to work through the field.
And they continue to
Still working on Sheldon Creed. He's probably barely beating the damage repair clock. Looks pretty good for what happened to him, but that's not going to be competitive.
Left rear quarter panel are so important on these trucks. They're like a rudder in the wind, and when they're damaged, it don't work right.
All right, we're going back to green.
About taking the top, but look at Ben Rhodes as the leader taking the top.
Find it interesting that Rhodes picked the top. He must think he can get a really good launch there.
He may regret it, but he listened.
Imagine being Nemechek and losing the lead under Yella. Lap 12. Lap 13 now. 12 laps complete. And we're looking at nothing. Fox's camera feed cut out. There we go. We're back. Rhodes Nemechek off of 2. Austin Hill drafts up to the back. And Nemechek shoots the bottom. Nemechek throws a block. Enters turn 3 shallow. He might push up the hill here. Ooh, he does, but he clears Rhodes for the lead. Be careful getting up in that traction compound. So Nemechek comes out of this with the lead.
Nemechek made a good block there, and
Obviously, I think he picked the inside lane on restarts. I don't know why Rhodes picked the outside.
He was right. And I mean, that's just how these restarts work.
Stuart Friesen's truck just got away from him in 2. He pushed up the track.
But that's just how these restarts work sometimes. You can have the right
Zane Smith makes the pass.
But if the car behind you doesn't push you, it's not going to work.
Right? The truck.
The truck. Yeah, right. If Austin Hill chose
Brad correcting Joey
instead of pushing John Hunter, you would have had a different leader right now. Yes. You can't control the guy behind you very often.
Riding along, great view from the visor cam of Todd Gilliland.
Chase Elliott up to 12th.
Out of the gas quite a bit.
Had a nice lap or two here.
So slick. You know, when the track gets hot like this, I know we've talked about this a few times, it really changes the way these trucks drive. You got to lift, you got to slow
Having
down.
this race in broad daylight was probably the best thing you could have done. I've never liked trucks at Texas, and I've never liked them racing at night. I don't like anything at Texas. I don't know why I said trucks. I don't like anything at Texas. 20 to go in stage 1. I turned my fan off for like a few seconds, and it's already getting warm in here. Wow, the visor cam's great. Too bad we can't see anything that's going on anywhere. 3-truck breakaway at the front.
But we've seen the speed on the ovals pick up a little bit from the 38. Was talking to Todd earlier, and he was excited about the race today and the possibilities.
Can you believe that after the IndyCar race, they put more of this shit on the racetrack? It was still stained from last time, and they put more down.
There's Johnny Sauter. We heard from James
Chase Elliott, top 10.
Urgency and maybe some of the questions.
A lot quicker this run.
Just haven't been able to put it together this season. Haven't caught any breaks as well, but sometimes you got to make your own breaks. Johnny told me this morning it's just a lot of little things that they feel like have caught them up, hamstrung that team this season, but they are confident, especially here at Texas, where Sauter's won 5 times, that they can get it turned around.
So Chase Elliott right behind him. Now we're moving back to a little deeper in the field with the battle here.
Austin Wayne Self in the 22, and he's just outside the playoff.
Austin Wayne Self taking time out of his busy schedule of beating his wife. Nemechek's got trash on the grill.
Anything to be worried about there?
I don't know. If you're in the lead, sometimes having a little bit of garbage.
They lap Sheldon Creed, who looks really, really, really slow.
You try to set the tape on these trucks.
Of all the ovals IndyCar could race at, and they chose Texas Motor Speedway.
On these trucks with tape, obviously, and the more tape you can put on it, the faster you go. But you try to set it to where you
come
know
to Charlotte.
Back in the pack, you're not going to be overheating. So when you're in the lead, you're going to have cleaner air. Your truck's going to run a little bit cooler. You can afford to have a little bit of garbage on the grill, have a little extra downforce, a little less drag. It's probably helping him.
Elliott 9th.
There's Chase Elliott in the 20.
Cue the Jaws music. He looks really good this run. And they haven't even pitted yet.
Gilliland and Chandler Smith fighting for 6th.
Remember what a dipshit Ben Rhodes was the last time they raced at Texas? I remember, and I didn't even really watch that race. I was too sleepy that day.
Even with a little debris on the front end, he's still plenty fast.
Coming back to Texas.
Well, they went to commercial after fucking 5 or 6 laps there. Saw the SRX just tweeted a picture of all the drivers. They took a big picture on the racetrack today to celebrate the inaugural SRX. I hope the SRX is really good, but I'll be upset if it's so good that after 6 weeks I'll be sad to see it go away for a while. I'll be like, no, keep going. SRX, the senior tour. I bet Greg Biffle wins. Hey, Michael, I bet DraftKings doesn't take bets on the SRX. I bet there's no odds for SRX. But I'd pick Greg Biffle if there was. Everybody just assumes Tony Stewart's going to dominate because, I mean, fuck, it's his series. Oh, but Caden, when the PJ1 gets activated, it gives you grip. But to get activated, cars have to fucking run in it. And they can't. Not with all 4 tires, anyway. I'm watching a lot of left turns today between Trucks, Xfinity, and SRX. Where's IndyCar racing at? Detroit? Is that today? Detroit? We have a caution. Sheldon Creed has spun out and crashed again. And wow, Creed crashed hard. He crashed really hard. What happened now? Oh, look. He got his fucking right sides. Actually, he got all 4 tires in the traction compound and crashed again. And this time he hit head on. He looped around and hit the wall head on. God.
Not a good weekend.
Well, Brandon,
Gee, it's as if this shit shouldn't be on the racetrack.
On that truck, that that right rear quarter panel is very, very sensitive. But when it's knocked over to the right like it was before this incident, it's going to be quite a bit freer and a lot harder.
Pit here and stay out at the end of the stage.
Listen to some radio from
right.
You okay? I'm fine, dude. This thing is so hard to drive. I'm sorry. We're done. You okay? I'm fine, dude.
Yeah, well, we agree. We agree here in the booth. It only got harder to drive once you got the damage, like Joey was saying, and it's a rough day, but you're going to have those in racing.
Like I said, I expect a lot of cautions today, but I didn't expect Sheldon Creed to wreck twice.
He got the free pass.
I expected him to contend.
Power issue from Crafton and going down a lap. He gets back on the lead lap. Still in stage 1 at Texas Motor Speedway, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. The day is short one.
Tough scene for Sheldon Creed. Hate to say it, but John Hunter Nemechek's making the Truck Series kind of boring this year, but I like him, so. Nemechek's making the Truck Series very predictable. Biggest decision I have to make. Well, 2 big decisions today. What do I want for dinner, and am I going to fucking go force myself to work tonight? I don't know. I hope I feel better later. I'm still sore from the other day, but then again, I worked 2 jobs the other day. Yeah, where the fuck did PJ1 come from? I never heard of this shit up until, like, what, 3 years ago? 3 or 4 years ago? I didn't even know that something like that existed. What the fuck is PJ1 and where did it come from? And how did they come up with it? Who wants to pay me so I don't have to go to work tonight? Actually, the bad thing is if anybody paid me anything, I'd want to work even more. It's about, ooh, I can get this money and then go work and make more. decision here. I'm going to wear the wireless headphones tonight, and if they catch me, I don't care. A friend of mine let me borrow their wireless headphones. We're not supposed to wear headphones at work, but guess what? I'm going to wear one anyway. Trackbot, whatever. That's an even dumber name. Trackbot. How about we build cars that can drive right instead of using Trackbot?
Maybe they think you're going to be out by then.
Oh, gee. You know what? I'm not even answering this question. The heck with you guys.
Look at those poor kids roasting in the sun, all to see racing at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm pretty sure that kid on the left is dead.
I got a little confused, so I just told my crew chief, just let me know what to do. Lead the last lap.
It was designed for drag racing. Well, that's where it should have fucking stayed.
Probably a good thing, so I'll just keep trying
That
to
is
do
where
that.
it should have stayed.
The old Team Penske hauler. We were talking about it earlier, man. They shine those things up, don't they? You don't want to be
Shut up, Joey.
Trailer on a hot day because that sun glares off of that thing. That's so cute. Yeah, it looks good though. Looks good.
Roger Penske's goal is to fucking blind everybody driving on the interstate when one of his haulers passes by. Look at the boomers. I thought they said they weren't watching NASCAR no more. There they are. There's some boomers. Hey, we do have some cars pitting. As I said, pit here and stay out at the end of the stage. That was my strategy call.
There on the right in the 24 out of the GMS stable this weekend, along with Zane Smith. What have you seen guys needing here early on, guys?
Well, I think there's a strategy play here a little bit. Putting your 4 tires on here. We're only about 9 laps away or so from the first
Yep,
stage.
you pit here, stay at the end of the stage.
Or even less than that. So, yeah, I think you put your 4 tires on here. You stay out. At the end of the first stage, you cycle back to the front and try to get yourself a stage win in the second
Chastain
stage.
pit. I'm glad to see Chastain on that strategy.
And by hitting right here,
I
we're going
think.
to give up track position now and gain a whole lot later on.
What you see here too.
You're only
right
gonna have to
now,
run
right at
about
that point, the
6
track
laps
position. This is a
to the end of the
challenging
stage.
track to pass on, especially when this
It looks
traffic
windy,
compound
yeah,
is
but
not really
God,
moving
it's just got to be
yet. Like,
brutal
it's
out there.
Okay, but it's not good enough to make a bunch of passes up there. And this is your way to cycle your way into the front.
35 laps in stage 1. We've got 27 down.
We're going back to commercial. A single truck spin. A single truck accident. And we're under caution for 15 minutes. Okay. Why is the truck series always like this? You want to red flag it next time somebody wrecks and hits the wall by themselves? Any Marvel fans here? Did you guys watch Loki this week? I did. I was really excited to come home from work Wednesday and watch it. I know I'm all over the place, but I got ADD, so don't blame me. Tell you what, it's hot as shit here in North Carolina. I'll tell you what, it's really hot here. It is offensively hot. That's why I'm glad I don't have to go outside today. I mostly work indoors at night. If I can bring myself to keep doing it. They're showing a commercial for the race we're watching. Get your tickets to the SpeedyCash.com 220 at Texas, June 12th. Yeah, we're watching that. It's a little late now. I'm in North Carolina and the race is on TV. I don't think I'll make it there in time. Oh, God. If they had to repave Charlotte again, I would just never go back. Just stop using PJ1. Charlotte does not need PJ1. I don't think any track needs it. You can make a case for Texas needing it if it would work. But Charlotte is not a track that needs it. Guys run the high line at Charlotte anyway. Not as much as they used to, but they still will. I tell you what really doesn't need it. Phoenix. The fucking racetrack where we decide the champion. Phoenix. That shit does not need traction compound. It actually hurts the racing at Phoenix because it works at that track for some reason. They're all running high.
And done for the day for Sheldon Creed.
We're going to go green with 6 to go in stage 1. So them guys that just pitted, it's going to work out great for them.
It is. They'll be coming to lap 30.
I'm wondering if anybody will dive heat stroke today is what I'm wondering.
Well, these are always the fun restarts for me is knowing that you got stage points sitting right there in front of you. You got to be aggressive. You might as well make the move because you only got a few laps to go, and then you're going to pit anyway. So
Ray Cicerelli's 15th, not bad for a guy who quit last year. Am I right?
Take with you throughout the entire postseason. And the top 10 get stage points to help out. So
6 laps.
Taking us
Great push from Hill to Nemechek. They clear roads by a mile going to turn 1. That was the easiest time Nemechek's had getting away with the lead. Austin Hill was a great pusher there.
No contest for the outside lane on this restart.
The 18 underneath Rhodes for 3rd off of 2 down the back. No, he doesn't get there.
Chandler Smith has moved into that 4th position with Stuart Friesen in 5th. Good run today for the 18 of Chandler Smith here in this stage 1.
5 to go, stage 1.
Hornet's Nest, Todd Gillen, one of the first trucks on new tires. He's trying to get some stage points here.
Trying to have it both ways, get a stage point and have his new tires. Boy, I'm nervous about Elliott and Gilliland running up in that traction compound. They were both up, and Gilliland goes wide off of 2.
Jamie Little with Sheldon Creed.
3 wide down the back. Well, them fresh tires are working for Chase. Tanner Gray's got all 4 wheels up in it in 4. Austin Hill looks tight off of 2. Rhodes is going to make a run at him for 2nd as Nemechek gets away. Garrett Krause chops Josh Berry into turn 3. Josh Berry's in the 25 today. Gilliland and Elliott are flying on these new tires. Elliott trapped behind Josh Berry down the front stretch. It's going to cost him a couple of spots, potentially. Boy, this don't look good off of 2. Is that 4 wide? Almost. God.
Great action here in this battle for the 10th position.
Oh, we got a yeller.
Todd Gillen's going to get around.
Quick, red flag it so we can run 1 lap at the end of stage 1.
For the 3rd time here in this
What's caution for?
It's in all likelihood going to bring us to
What's the caution for?
stage 1 ultimately.
The 49 stopped on the backstretch. He said he wasn't starting parking today, but it looks like Cicerelli didn't have a choice. His truck would rather start and park. Whoa. Yeah, he's got some pretty bad damage on the left front.
Wrinkled up a little bit.
This dude's 51 years old. I didn't realize he was that old. I didn't know he was that old and racist, but it makes sense. There seems to be a correlation between racist people and boomers.
You know, we were talking to Regan Smith during the commercial break and said they saw some cords on some of these cars.
Stage 1 ends under caution.
Earlier from these runs, so there could be maybe his tires.
Pretty sure Gilliland will be the leader here when these guys up front pit here.
Track that's green. No, it's their first trucks on the racetrack, and their track's not rubbered in yet. And I think they'll get.
Oh God, I couldn't imagine going to Atlanta to watch those fucking cars with that aero package in the middle of summer. At least it's only a 400-mile race next time they go to Atlanta.
Stage win of the season, and as mentioned previously, you get that stage point, that stage win playoff point to take with you throughout the postseason when you win a stage.
Told you a lot of cautions today, and they're loving it because they're going to commercial every 30 seconds now. Boy, those little things they show as they go to commercial, the drivers fist pumping and like folding their arms and trying to look cool. It's always so fucking lame. Especially when it's guys like dorky dudes like Kyle Busch going like, yeah, I'm a badass. Put sunglasses on, fold my arms, and nod. Like, it's so fucking corny. What's even worse is when they do that with the iRacing and NASCAR Heat Pro League guys. It's like, you guys are fucking dorks. You're playing a fucking video game. You're not cool. You're not athletes. And I love iRacing, but come on. Come on. Hey, I figured out Nashville Super Speedway is what happens if Dover and Kentucky have a baby. And that's not necessarily a good thing. You're worried about the fans as much as you are the drivers in Atlanta? Yeah. Like I said, thank God it's only a 400-mile race. That first Atlanta race this year was so bad, I'm like, oh my God, and they're coming back here in the summer. And then I saw it was only 400 miles, and I was like, okay, that's a little better, but still. I can't wait to see the next-gen car race at Atlanta. I can't wait to see the next-gen car everywhere, because it's got to be better than what we got now. But particularly places like Atlanta or Darlington, where tires wear and all that, that'll be fun. You know, back before the repave, Charlotte was a lot like Darlington or Atlanta is now. Charlotte was like a big Darlington. Go back and watch those cup races from like 2001 to like 2006, and Charlotte was a wreck fest almost every time. There were just so many wrecks. That's why the All-Star race was so entertaining back then and got its reputation. Lest we forget the 2005 Coca-Cola 600, which had an absurd amount of cautions. Charlotte was fucking wild, and then they repaved it, and it's kind of been dog shit ever since.
Camping World Truck Series racing from Texas Motor Speedway.
They had to repave it. They had to. Repaves are necessary, unfortunately. Although Atlanta and Auto Club are really pushing the limits.
Created by Sheldon Creed, last year's race winner, 1 year last October, and he is done for the day. And then Ray Cicerelli came to a stop, bringing out the caution that ended the stage. Stage points for Chandler Smith and Austin Wayne Self as well, finishing up in the top 7. Smith finished 4th in the stage, Self finished 7th, and those were a couple of guys that, Brad, you and Joey were talking about needing points. Absolutely. Right around the cut line.
Got to get them when you can, but now we got to get to pit road and get tires in service. What do you got, Jamie Little?
99 at Ben Rhodes, just trying to race smart, being careful, giving up position if he needs to, because he's thinking about the big picture and being there at the end. A little bit tight, track bar adjustment, they will pull some tape. The 16 of Austin Hill, truck's been decent, started off neutral, loses the nose a little bit, so they'll tighten him up there, and a 4-tire stop for the 16.
First cup race I ever went to was the 2002 Coke 600. I went to pole day in 2001.
He watched the temps that whole run. Everything was good. Right now, just a little bit free. Stepping out too much on him.
Nemechek wins the race off pit road, but he will not be the leader.
John Hunter gets that very first pit stall.
The guys who played the strategy that I like will cycle through to the front.
How about Ben Rhodes, guys? You were dialing him up.
Michael Waltrip would be so excited about all this strategy. I can't believe it. I'm so happy NASCAR's done this stage racing. It leads to so much strategy. Well, this race is crawling by because of these fucking cautions.
I don't know how to do that. Let's try this. Ben Rhodes, Joey Logano in the box booth. You copy?
I got you, Joey. How are you?
I am doing good. We've been up here joking about restarts a little bit, about taking the top, taking the bottom when you're up there on the front row. I thought the top was the right play. I was with you. You weren't getting the push helps that you needed. What do you think? You going to get back up there to the front? And if so, are you going to change what you were doing?
We're just going to play it smart right now. The track's still really treacherous. It's starting to take some rubber on the bottom, but the high side is still really, really slick. So I don't really know what to do yet. The clean air was my biggest asset, and we lost that. So either way, we got to really...
Well, the only reason you had it is because somebody slowed down under caution, you no talent fucking hack.
Copy that. Well, it's going to be fun to
God, I
watch.
hate Ben Rhodes.
Everything cycled up and changed a lot, so have some fun working through the field.
Let's go back to commercial one more time, please.
That'll be fun to watch. That 98.
Hey, they are. Ask and you shall receive. What, you want commercials? You are in the right place, ladies and gentlemen. So, yes, Todd Gilliland and Chase Elliott up front. The top 9 trucks pitted under the previous caution. Good news with all the cautions, nobody's having to deal with lap traffic. The Ray Cicerellis of the world can't get in the way too much today. You know a Gregson fan? Oh my God. Let me guess they're young and don't know any better, because that's like the only people that really like him. There's like a small percentage of those fucking retarded psycho Dale Jr. fans that will defend Gregson just because he drives for Junior, but then there's the young idiots who've never seen real personality in racing because they grew up in the era of milquetoast drivers, so they see a kid like Gregson and think, oh my God, he's got personality, so cool, and they like him. Ooh, look, a commercial that showed Giant Stadium. I'm ready to watch football, but it's only June. It's June 12th. God damn it. Preseason doesn't start for two more fucking months. So he's the same age as me. That's surprising. It's like almost as bad as being a Michael McDowell fan. So did you guys, okay, you remember how Suarez spun McDowell on the last lap of Sonoma last week? Well, earlier that lap, McDowell just body slammed Suarez into the dirt headed towards the carousel. So Suarez chased his ass back down in turn 11 and took him out. And I was like, good for Suarez. And you know McDowell doesn't want any. Last time he went at Suarez, he got put on his fucking ass. Remember when they got in that fight at qualifying in Phoenix? They have been running well lately, Michael. Oh, look, it's another commercial about the race we're watching.
Out on a hot summer day, temperature around 90 degrees here for the first of 2 races, the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. Let's go downstairs, check in with Regan Smith.
Well, Vince, the third of Todd Gilliland leading this race right now. That goes back to their strategy, though.
You think Gilliland's got enough Speedy Cash stickers in that truck?
The other trucks didn't do it. The other trucks stayed out. They were going to pit. Otherwise, they were going to stay on the racetrack and try and get the lead. That is what's worked out right now for them. Jamie?
And Chase Elliott second right now, pitted on lap 26. Chad Walter, his crew chief, told me he's just been getting reacclimated with the truck for these first 39 laps. Now that they have track position, clean air should help this truck and help his chances of going back to victory lane.
This race needs a long green run to lay some rubber down and get this track a little more raceable.
Stage 2, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski.
But I doubt we see really any long green runs today based on how this race is going.
Well, I love the strategy that Chase Elliott and Todd Gilliland did there. Being able to pit, they got 5 green laps on their tires, maybe even less than
that. Am I going to hear these 2 dipshits during the Xfinity race too? Well, one dipshit. I like Brad, but Joey I don't like.
I'm interested to see if John Hunter Nemechek can work his way in Ben Rhodes. They can work their way through the field. Austin Hill, those guys that were up front, that are now cycled back outside the top 10. Can they move their way forward?
Yeah, right now they are not loving road track position. They're going to have to restart towards the back of the pack on a track that's very hard to pass on, still very treacherous, that Ben Rhodes was telling us before the break. So it'll be interesting to see how far up they can get here before the end of stage 2, and I guarantee you they're going to push hard to do so.
Yeah, Ben Rhodes going to start back in the restart back in the 13th position.
Yeah, let's see. No offense to Nemechek, I love John Hunter, but can somebody take him out? He's restarting on the outside line here in 10th place. Gilliland gets a great launch with a push from Tanner Gray. Clears Elliott before they even get to 1. Whoever gets out front is going to look pretty good, I'd imagine, at this fucking place. 30 to go in stage 2. Wow, Tanner Gray passed Chase Elliott around the outside, coming out of 2.
Spotter Tyler Mann, I should say, in the ear of Chase Elliott today.
Great launch, by the way, by Todd Gilliland. He didn't
Hey, Vince Welch, where's Chase's regular spotter at? Court?
You just saw that 45 truck coming.
Todd Gilliland looks depressed.
huge run looking for that clean air. That's something big about these restarts.
Nemechek side by side with finger for 6th. 1 lap into this run. Wow. Is that Chastain back there or Hocevar? Who was that? Oh, it was Chastain back there.
John Hunter Nemechek taking that position away from Grant Infinger in the 42 of Carson Hocevar.
I don't think Chastain's going to contend today, barring a lot more attrition.
Infinger was one of the trucks that pitted before the stage.
Be careful, Chase, moving up off that very bottom.
That plays out for him.
Looking for a way around the 15. He gets to his outside off of 2. Zane Smith follows. That'll probably push Chase ahead of the 15, and it does. Elliott retakes 2nd. Zane Smith to the outside of Gray for 3rd. Little bobble. And Zane Smith's up to 3rd. Elliott's putting pressure on Gilliland for the lead.
A little bit closer than they both wanted.
I don't think he wanted to let him underneath him either.
Elliott's just looking for a way around Gilliland now.
Big run coming off of turn 4 to get to the back of Todd Gilliland here.
Michael, your pick's looking pretty good.
This is at the front of the field. Gilliland in that green 38 leading the way. Chase Elliott right behind him with Zane Smith in tow.
This is going to be a fun battle to watch. Chase Elliott, so much talent, so much experience.
Wow, Joey Logano complimenting Chase Elliott. Joey's not bad in the booth, I admit. He's still a dipshit. Oh, Gilliland giving room. Chase takes the lead easily. I thought Gilliland might try to slam down and shut the door on him, but Chase was there.
I've been here before. I know what I'm doing.
Now Gilliland's making a run back at him in 3. Can't get there. That's an interesting top 5 you're looking at. Nemechek is 6th. He's the one with the best truck in the field, I think. But Chase Elliott's got the clean air now. Zane Smith put the bumper to Todd Gilliland, move him up the track, and now that opens the door, Tanner Gray's going to pass them both. Nice move. What the fuck was that camera cut just now? Look out. Ankrum dive bomb Zane Smith. And he's trying to shut the door on Nemechek in the middle of 4, and he can't. Now Nemechek's in this battle for 5th. Ooh. Ankrum getting shoved down the front stretch. Nemechek's just got to be frustrated here. He's faster than all these guys in front of him. There's just nowhere to go because it's a 1-lane racetrack. You can't fucking drive here. You can't race here. Chase Elliott's driven away by over 2 seconds that fast when these guys started jostling around. But Tanner Gray being in 2nd is very impressive. Very surprising, too.
And he was running a 31:20, 31:30. Now that he's in the lead, he's running 38s, 39s, almost a half a second faster. That's the power of the clean air.
There's a lot of power.
Oh, clean air. You'll give me 5 if Elliott wins? Nice, you got a deal. Still not quite enough to get me to skip work tonight, but every little bit helps.
For his first top 10 of the season, so running up there in that 2nd position, a big boost for this team. Finished 3rd 3 times last year, but just have not had those kind of finishes this year. But he is up front and pushing the envelope here at Texas.
I like that move he made on that restart fence. That was really strong. Get 3 wide, get by these guys, establish 2nd place. A little clean air himself.
Early laps of stage 2. Chase Elliott has taken the lead from Todd Gilliland and is running up front. Here's where you guys were talking about the air and the veteran in the 24.
Well, so you got the big draft down the straight.
The word of the day is air.
Right on Todd Gilliland's left rear quarter panel. Kind of pack some air up in there.
Air.
And when that air gets packed up,
air. He said it again.
You lose the side force and a little bit of the rear down force. And
why is that, Brad?
Your truck just does not have as much grip. And you see that. You see how he had the lift? And he kind of slid it up. And just like that, Chase Elliott is gone.
Just like that. And we talked about earlier about the experience of
Nemechek still 6th place, 4 seconds behind Chase Elliott.
He's kind of seen it and been there. And you may say, well, he's going to run out here in the truck series. What's he doing that for? He's trying to get more experience. And it's also really good for these other drivers to see that. How do you become
Look at Chastain. He passed Ben Rhodes and Johnny Sauter at the same time going to turn 1. Nice move. Rhodes and Sauter got to each other, and Chastain passed them both.
And go out there and race them. I know when I was racing Xfinity,
that was for 13th.
I loved racing against Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, Jeff Burton, all those guys that were running Xfinity at the time, that's where I learned the most.
Zane Smith, quick learner, won a couple of times last season in his rookie year. More on him in running third, Jamie.
I don't know DFS, but we're here.
This is the first time Zane Smith has ever brought a brand new race.
Tanner Gray has gapped Zane Smith for second. Gilliland's fourth. Oh, wow. Stuart Friesen's. Oh, man, what a bad wreck. Friesen got spun and hit the inside wall head on going to turn 3. I'm sure he had help. I'm almost certain the 52 had help.
Because that is not a place that you normally see an accident down the backstretch.
That was head on to the inside wall. He had help.
There's a replay coming here in just a second, but big contact.
You sure we'll have a replay? It's Fox. Oh, Ross, don't tell me.
The Kosovar's got a little run on him. And
oh, no, it was Hocevar, my bad. Oh, Friesen squeezed Hocevar towards the outside wall and spun himself out and hit the inside wall head on. Tough break. I get Hocevar's truck and Chastain's truck mixed up. My bad. It was Hocevar and Friesen.
How you do that from that angle? You know, because sometimes you.
It looks like Hocevar was trying to get to
Hocevar just went to the outside. That's Friesen's fault. He wrecked himself. Told you we'd have a lot of cautions today. My instincts were correct.
That way, and it's driving him up to the wall. He didn't mean to, right?
Yeah,
that could happen as well. So it may look like it was a late block, but
quick, go to commercial.
Been just something there. The bumpers weren't lined up just right, and things were going wrong all the time.
Real fast, Joey, real fast. You know, you watch these on replay.
Hocevar is innocent there. That was Friesen being impatient as usual.
It's a lot harder.
I like Stuart Friesen, but the reason he's not had a lot of success in the truck series is because of stuff like that.
In slow motion, what were you doing?
Yeah. And like we can see, everything is clear as your replays are. Yeah.
Well, a couple of big hitters out of this race already, as you saw Stuart Friesen climbing from his truck. Friesen is out, and last year's
random shot of police on horses. Okay.
Out as well. About halfway through stage.
Woo! Texas Motor Speedway. Y'all having fun? Hey Patrick, what am I? The All-Star race? No, I'm stupid. Well, what's the difference? Yeah. Okay. McDonald's, I guess. McDonald's. Yay, food. Keeping it simple today. Once again, another live stream where I'm eating spicy McChickens. Gonna be a good day, y'all, except it's not because I gotta work tonight. God, I'm gonna be so dead by 6 in the morning. Sleeping before the races tomorrow won't be a problem. I'm gonna be so fucking dead. I'm gonna knock out when I get home tomorrow morning. Don't bother asking me about predictions for the SRX. I don't think anybody's qualified to make a real prediction tonight, but we are going to watch together and find out. I plan on streaming it.
Where Chase Elliott is the leader, the Cup Series champ. three-time winner in the
Canadian
Truck Series.
Tire, Martinsville, and Charlotte, where Chase Elliott's truck wins.
Martinsville Speedway back in 2017.
Collected the bounty last year at Charlotte.
Last year at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and then
At the height of the COVID pandemic. All them victory lane pictures with the masks on are going to be weird to explain in about 25 years, don't you think?
And that red and black 24 is up front. Took the lead from Todd Gilliland. A breeze and heat today here at Texas Motor Speedway. And under caution here in stage 2 because of an incident involving Stuart Friesen and Carson Hocevar.
Yeah, you see again, Carson's got a good draft here. He's going to make a run to the right side or the outside, and it just hook bumpers there. Doesn't take much. Around he goes, Stuart Friesen into the bottom wall, and a big hit.
Do you assign blame to either one?
I think they both wanted.
A little more on the 52 than I would blame the 42, guys.
That's what happened. They both wanted it.
Ooh, that's a good question, Michael. I wonder who will drive the 22 next year.
I'm guessing their radio communication is going to tell a different story.
Could be interesting.
Good copy, recorder. We're clear, and you decided just to be sure.
Stuart Friesen's full of shit. You were not clear, dude. You blocked. And like Hocevar's Creechy said, you know who you're racing. It's Friesen. Like, Friesen's done this kind of stuff all the time. Chase Elliott had to wear a mask at Charlotte last year to conceal his secret identity as the bounty hunter. That's what I'll tell my grandkids.
And I got to imagine that when you see it on replay, a lot of times it looks different than what maybe you saw it initially.
I've learned to keep my mouth shut until I see something.
Yes.
Because I have made that mistake before, where I get up all fired up and then I look at it later and I go, oh.
I think we're going to stick with the Biff tonight. Greg Biffle's going to win the first ever SRX race. It's going to be good to be live streaming a race and saying all those old names. Biffle, Labonte, Bill Elliott, Tony Stewart, Mikey. See, Michael Waltrip alone is why they should race Daytona next season. SRX has got to race Daytona, so Michael Waltrip can win.
And of course, a busy afternoon of racing right here on FS1. We've got the Camping World Truck Series.
Another lengthy ass cleanup. We're not even going green this time for no reason. There's no safety trucks, no nothing on the back where the wreck happened, but we're still riding around.
Booth with Adam Alexander for the Xfinity Series race. You guys did the Xfinity Cup double here in 2010. I'm guessing this is going to be a little less strenuous.
Yeah, we got air conditioning up here. It's quite nice, actually. There's candy up here.
Stacking away.
Yep, I mean, they take pretty good care of us, but, you know, I'm waiting on the ice cream.
I took some of NASCAR's lunch they had up here. The NASCAR tower is right next to us, and they had some good Mexican food, and I may have taken one of their lunch spots. So
that'll be a penalty.
Thank you very much. I know.
Kid's mom had a nice rack. Oh, I'm sorry.
It was good at the moment.
Always safer to have the Mexican before a broadcast versus before a race.
Absolutely. That's an experience move.
Well, SRX could change the fucking rear end for Daytona. Hey, they used to race those rear ends at Daytona in the 70s. And everybody wants to go back to the good old days.
This truck has just been evil for him, extremely loose. When they came in under that caution, they put a bunch of wedge in it, but they said it was so bad they had to work on all four corners, put a spring rubber in the right front as well, trying to help him out, but he's way back there, mired in 31st now.
Wow. Right there around Jesse Awuchi in the 34 truck, and it's a hometowner for Jesse, originally from Carrollton, Texas.
Who gives a fuck about Jesse Awuchi? I guess they're tired of hearing about this fucking bum-ass driver. Good man, bum-ass race car driver.
Making his third start this season. And speaking of those serving, got the 34 truck as well, and that's the 33 truck of Keith McGee, Air Force veteran, and used to be stationed in Oklahoma City, so a lot of the friends that he served with are in the stands here today. Very cool.
Very cool, for sure. Here we see back to the lead here. Chase Elliott taking the top side here.
Elliott picked the outside. Well, he's got a better pusher, I think, with Zane Smith maybe. Tanner Gray could get the lead out of this. Big push from Gilliland to Tanner Gray. Tanner Gray's going to get this lead here. Picking the outside is not a good move. I don't care if you get a good push or not. Picking the outside is a bad move. See, Joe Logano's wrong and I'm right. Give me my medal.
Every time. Next restart will look different again.
Elliott's in second. Tanner Gray out front. Nemechek's up to fourth. We got a slow truck on the apron coming around to pit road. I don't know if they'll make it or not.
For Chase Elliott, one of the things I've noticed is his truck just doesn't seem to launch quite as well as the other trucks around him. I'm not sure if that's his gear ratios or something with
Trying to stick his nose in there. He gets tight in that dirty air behind Tanner Gray. It's going to open up the door for the 21 to have a run at him down the back. Oh, Crafton's in the wall. Or something. It looked like he was in the wall, but I think he's just out of the groove and slow. He's got it going again. No caution. It fired back up.
Earlier, Crafton's truck shut off. Yep, it looks like the under caution, and then it came back alive, and he is under power again. That's a help.
God, I see these guys run up on other trucks going into turn one, and if they can't get their nose in there, they get super tight. I just saw Chastain behind Derek Kraus do the same thing that Elliott did with Tanner Gray the previous lap. So Crafton's back at speed. He's passing the 3 truck now. We got a caution. 9 to go in stage 2. Tanner Gray's the leader, and we got another caution. Jennifer Jo Cobb stopped before she could get to pit road. She made it to pit road, but not onto pit road.
NASCAR probably saying that this is unsafe condition.
Well, I'm glad NASCAR was alert enough to throw a caution this week for a truck stopped on the racetrack.
See the issue that she had in the 10, trying to find her.
What the fuck are we looking? We're looking at Crafton, you idiot, not Jennifer Jo. Jennifer Jo was already slow laps before this. I saw her on the apron coming around after the restart, and I said, I don't think she's going to make it to pit road. Spoiler alert, she didn't.
So there's Jo Cobb getting the push to her pit box, and Crafton's got to be confused about what's happening with that 88 truck, doesn't he, guys?
Yeah, that's no fun, and there's really nothing you can do as a driver when you're in that spot other than just try not to get ran over.
So with 8 to go in the stage here, expect pit stops, Brad, Joey?
Yeah.
I think so. I think the same thing.
I think Chase Elliott should just go ahead and pit, stay out at the end of the stage again.
When you look at where
this caution's a good thing. I think Ross Chastain should do it as well. He's just now broken into the top 10 for the first time today.
Where's he at? He got back to 4th. But, you know, I think this is a good move if you pit here and cycle yourself up front. We see what clean air means. If you're Chase Elliott, why not? You're not racing for points. I would definitely come in.
Gotta believe about a half a dozen of them are going to pit here at least. By the time we go back green, it'll only be 5 laps to go, most likely.
Very similar to what we saw at the late laps of stage 1 in regards to the caution and the opportunity to pit.
Pit road's open. Chase Elliott, Nemechek, Gilliland. Most of the field is going to do this. Tanner Gray stays out. Derek Kraus stays out. He needs the points. But yeah, most of the field here is doing this, and I like this strategy.
But I'm still learning. Not bad for him. Let some laps there as they put 4 fresh tires. And remember, they only have 4 sets of fresh tires for this race. Regan.
About a 38 to Todd Gilliland doing what he did the last time, pitting before the stage ends. That truck right now loads up too tight in the center of the corner. That means that when it gets
for Crafton to leave for KBM, KBM would have to want him. I don't think KBM wants him. KBM develops young drivers primarily. Young drivers and Greg Biffle.
Team's going to work on pit road and making some adjustments, and we saw some significant adjustments on that 38 truck of Gilliland. The 15 of Tanner Gray stayed out. You see Chase Elliott and John Hunter Nemechek. 21 of Zane Smith stayed out as well. Playoff points and stage points critical for them, so the stage, the track position is so important here in these final laps of stage 2.
You know, Vince, Tanner Gray has been very, very fast here. He's got a fast lap that's close to what the leaders have ran. Saw after Chase Elliott got by, he was keeping up fairly well. and he's sitting 17th in the points. You got to think that they're thinking this is a good day to gamble, try to get a win, and try to get themselves locked in the playoffs.
The track house expands.
Here. And here's the deal. If you stay out,
I'd like to see Brett Moffitt or somebody get the second track house car.
If you have a
I'm a big Brett Moffitt fan. I'm not done with him yet. He needs to be in a good ride in Cup.
There for you, and then you got to pit again in 6 laps and cycle back to the back. You got nothing out of it. You have to at least collect what's in front of you right now, which is a stage win for the 15.
Yeah, Tanner Gray, Zane Smith, Derek Kraus up front. Josh Berry in the top 5. He stayed out. I'm surprised. He's not here for points.
Zane Smith is not going to just let him drive away with this.
They all look like they went to the same store to buy those shirts.
You see our playoff standings, talking about those playoff points and the stage points and the significance of them. Remember, Stuart Friesen already done for the day because of an accident, as is Sheldon Creed, who came into the day 4th in the playoff standings.
Kimi Räikkönen. Never forget Kimi Räikkönen at Charlotte.
Talk about Johnny Sauter, who had the hood up. Not too long
2010 or 11, whatever it was.
Yep, Matt Crafton has had issues today as well, currently in that 7th spot, so a lot could shake up here, not just in this day today, but in the 4 races remaining.
Okay, we get it. There's people in the stands. Why are we showing random fans all the time? We're going to have 5 to go here. Who's excited for the Open tomorrow night? We all know that's going to be the best race tomorrow. The Open. The Open every year is always awesome.
Out of them, including, of course, Todd Gilliland, who got that win at COTA. David was telling me earlier today that Ryan Preece will be in one of their trucks at Nashville. And also
5 laps in stage 2. The 21 got a much better restart than Gray, but Gray's got the push. Kraus is going 3 wide to turn 1. Oh, he can't get it in there. Whoa! John Hunter slipped up out of the groove. I thought Nemechek was a goner. Zane Smith, Tanner Gray side by side down the back. Kraus can't decide who he wants to get behind here. Gray and Zane Smith coming to 4 to go. Nemechek struggling back there in traffic. I don't know what that's about. Tanner Gray leads this lap.
Side by side, trying to get position. Who's gonna drive it?
All for those coveted stage points. Zane Smith clears him into turn 1. Zane Smith's got the lead. Derek Kraus may get through to second.
19 on the inside now of Tanner Gray for second.
Big side draft. Brennan Poole gives Tanner Gray a push down the back.
Brennan Poole right there in 4th.
And Gray clears Kraus for second. 3 to go.
John Hunter Nemechek on board. Rhodes in the 99.
These guys are going to fight really hard with only 3 laps to go on the stage. A lot of points here.
We're going to the Xfinity race in Loudon.
Such a fine line to
And the Cup race too, right?
tiptoeing around on the bottom or up in the traction compound and trying to get all you can get.
Chastain in the 45 getting around Josh Berry for 5th place.
Chastain, 6th place.
Been watching Josh
5th now, excuse me, past Josh Berry. 2 to go.
Riding that truck.
2 laps remaining in stage 2.
Oh, Drew Dollar, look out. Drew Dollar, hard in the wall. He was underneath somebody and just lost it. That was just air getting pulled off the right side of the car that brought him around because he was on the bottom, nowhere near the traction compound. And that was a hard hit. Look at that truck. That'd be one heck of a die cast to have.
You know, when they reconfigured this racetrack,
He all right.
they moved the effectively 1 and 2, and they made it wider, and it just makes it a longer distance and a harder.
He's moving.
When you hit the wall.
Winninet's not down. Now it is. He's pulling the Winninet down.
So Drew Dollar.
He hit the left. He hit the right side away from the driver's side, but it's still a hard hit.
So he gets underneath here for 15.
He's underneath Haley Deegan. She gave him plenty of room.
Yeah.
She really did. They were not like about to hit each other. Just no air. Air.
Really need to turn the wheel a lot to get to.
I remember when Brennan Poole did win Talladega and they fucking stole it from him.
You know, as you got a car on your outside and around she goes in a hard way.
That's a big hit. I mean, you could tell the damage that it was a big hit, but I'm telling you, when they do that tank slapper, you know, hits the right rear,
right
and
here.
it comes around and hits the right front. In the car, it just really, it hurts.
Well,
Kind of
it's
snaps
two
you around.
hits, one right after the other, and that's that's definitely the knock the wind out of you type of hit. Hopefully he's okay.
How about some audio from the 51 of Drew Dollar's camp?
Are you okay? Good. I'm so sorry, guys. Gosh, horrible.
You can hear the frustration there in Drew Dollar.
That was a really hard hit.
Glad he's okay, though.
Stage 2 wins
Guys,
under
it
caution
looks
just like
it
stage
happens
1.
So quick, but what's it feel like in the seat when you know you've lost control before you hit the wall? Does that happen in a blink?
Michael, I haven't been to Loudon in 10 years, and I'm tempted to go back, but
Here at
probably not
Texas,
this year.
again, because the walls are so far away from the groove, you have a lot of time to think about.
I'd
what
love to
you're
go
gonna hit.
back to Loudon, though.
And that is not a lot of fun. You know, usually when you wreck, you take some of the Talladega crashes and things like that. It happens so fast, you don't have a chance to really even worry about it. But here, he had a lot of time to think about that one, and that is no fun.
I've always laughed because there's a lot of people that ask me a lot of times and say, does things just happen slower for you? Things go like slow motion for you inside the car? Like, no, I'm going 200 miles an hour. Things are happening really fast. What are you talking about? Things happen really fast.
Well, stage 2 in the books. Zane Smith will win this one under caution.
Good for Zane Smith.
Can he get his first race win?
Fuck, I'm thirsty. I'll be back in a second. Loudon should be a pretty good cup race. Be a great Xfinity race, but it should be a pretty good cup race. My friend's on a bus tour in Asheville, North Carolina, and I said, I'm just sitting here watching these kids tear shit up in the truck race. Saturday's a doubleheader, only 35. Wow. If I didn't have to pay for a hotel, I would totally fly up there. I'm waiting till early July to buy Daytona tickets, I think. I'm going to Xfinity and Cup in Daytona. That's the plan.
Presented by Blue Emu. Glad to have you with us, along with Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski. I'm Vince Welch. And
Let me Google something really fast
some
because
excitement today and a couple of
I've got
big
something
name
I may
drivers
suggest to
that have gone
Dylan.
by the wayside, including Sheldon Creed and that truck, the 51 of Drew Dollar, also the 52
I'm
of
Googling
Stuart
this right in
Friesen,
front of y'all.
all out. Zane Smith.
How long does it take to
was
drive
the
to Daytona from
stage
here?
2 winner.
7
And
hours.
his girlfriend
That kind of sucks, but I've had
Paul
longer
won
car
the better
trips.
half dash this week, so
I'm about to ask Dylan, you just want to fucking save money and just drive to Daytona? That'd be cheaper than flying, but I'd love to fly. But if we fly, he's going to have to rent a car, or we're going to have to pay for fucking Ubers all the goddamn time. I don't know.
Wow. That is quite something. That is really,
But
cool.
I will still. I'm gonna get tickets to Daytona, and we'll just figure out how we're getting there
I
later.
think so. I think they're getting ready to pit. Let's see.
Zane Smith, Tanner Gray, Derek Kraus, Brennan Poole, all in there.
Hey, Michael, guess what? Ross Chastain will be your leader.
There's definitely some pressure in the Zane
Ross
Smith
Chastain,
household. She told
because of
me that
Nemechek and
the
Elliott's
trophy
dust
there.
up early
And
after the
Torres
restart,
comes in
Chastain
as
has
the
ended up
leader.
out front.
Brennan Poole in the 30. Welcome back
Just
to
in
the
time
truck
for
series.
stage
Got surgery
3.
on his wrist in March, doing a nice job there as you saw that chassis adjustment. The 25 of Josh Berry. Lots of water. He's running 2 races today, as you guys talked about the extreme heat. A truck adjustment there to help that truck. And the 21, a little bit tight air pressure adjustment will fix him up there. Regan.
Well, the 15 of Tanner Gray. Right now, that race truck is too tight into turn 1 when he gets into the corner. Wants an adjustment for that. Otherwise, he's been very pleased with a lot of speed out of this 15 truck today.
Been impressed with Tanner Gray and company. The DGR stable. Doing a good job. You guys want to talk to Zane Smith?
Yeah, how about it, Zane
If
Smith?
we have to.
In, Fox Booth, you got us.
Yeah, I got you.
Nice job bringing home that stage with a great restart. Seems like you got a good week going with future Mrs. Smith getting the win in the better half dash, and now yourself in the stage. Tell me about what you got for the rest of this one.
Yeah, at least one of us could win this year, but really good truck. This is a new truck, actually. First new one of the year, and so it's really good. I feel like I'm just a little bit too tight down 3 and 4, and it's allowing them to suck up to me on the front stretch, so hopefully we can fix that there, but have fun down front.
Absolutely, that new truck looks really good. Nice job, and we wish you the best rest of the race.
Thanks, man.
Brad, were you breaking some news there when you said the future Mrs. Smith?
Ross Chastain's the leader. I look like a genius.
Dash guys, you know, you gotta step up here a little bit, Zane. We're trying to help you out here, McCall.
You can get the gossip on this television.
Did you guys see how well Kelly Earnhardt did during the better half dash on iRacing? I didn't watch it. I was too busy sleeping because I had to work that night. But I heard Kelly Earnhardt was doing quite well. I always heard that Kelly was a better driver than Dale Jr. or Kerry. Yeah, DGM's doing really well. Tanner Gray running as well as he has today. Been really nice to see, but he's fucked now because they played for the points. Haley Deegan's going to be in the top 10 here after avoiding disaster with Drew Dollar. Yeah, Kelly was a good driver from what I heard. The way everybody talks that Kelly was very good. But Junior said, and Kelly said this too, she quit just because of the mental strain being a female and being an Earnhardt and trying to race. There was so much pressure on her. And she talked about, she remembers she beat this guy in a race once, and the guy's girlfriend came up to her after the race and slapped her because she beat her man. You know, shit like that made Kelly just say, you know what, I don't want to do this. And Kelly has been the best thing could have ever happened to Dale Jr.'s career because she does everything for him. Kelly Earnhardt Miller is one of the really good people in racing. Like Junior said, Dale Jr.'s a hands-off owner. Kelly runs Junior Motorsports.
We thank all of our fans for your support.
Why's Bubba on this commercial?
It's like coming back to see an old friend. You know how it rolls. No limits here. It's big. It's fast. It is.
It's shit.
That was aggressive. Don't get trapped. Stay low, you are clear. Just be smart, man. Take big picture here. We don't have to win them all.
All over his tailgate.
Good, all we driving now.
So as it happens, at the beginning of Stage 3, my pick, Ross Chastain, will be the leader. He's got Chase Elliott and John Hunter right there, though.
Texas. Who's going to win it today? time the NASCAR Truck Series has raced here at Texas Motor Speedway. As we look at the Blue Emu race summary after 2 stages, Ross Chastain has snuck up there very quietly and will be our leader as we start.
Oh, Ross just been hanging around today. He's been in the middle of a lot of shit, but unscathed so far.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 winners. More issues for the 88 of Matt Crafton. Jamie.
Crafton having more problems.
He's come in now a couple of times. They came in and said it was the ignition. The battery wasn't the issue like it was earlier in the race. They had 2 mechanics inside the truck, swapped out his steering wheel. That didn't fix the problem completely, so he just came back in twice, and they're working on the ECU. Just a disastrous day for the 88 Vince.
Well, and Crafton, a 2-time winner here. He's won 10 times on the mile-and-a-half throughout his career. And look at that, 19 straight top 10 finishes here at Texas Motor Speedway. That's in all likelihood going to come to an end today.
Tell you what I see here coming to this restart here. You got the top 8 are pretty much the best trucks we've seen all day. Chastain, Elliott, Chandler Smith, John Hunter, and Baker.
Chastain's been very under the radar today.
All those trucks all been up front at some point there today, racing for the lead or in the lead. The cream is rising to the top at this point.
Joey Logano loves cream.
Final stage.
70 laps in this stage from here.
Chase Elliott in that red and black number 24 on the inside.
70 to go. Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, John Hunter, Nemechek, Chandler Smith.
45 on the outside.
Why do guys keep picking the outside line? I don't understand. Look at that. He picked the outside line, didn't get a push, and now Nemechek just pushed Elliott ahead of Chastain into 1. Chase Elliott's the leader again. Why do guys keep picking the outside line? It does not work. It does not work, and it will not work. Stop picking the outside line when you're the fucking leader. Has anybody not been watching today? I'm only grumpy because I got money on Chastain. But still, why the fuck do you keep picking the outside? Boy, Nemechek looks loose.
Going into turn 3.
We saw that on the restart before this down in turn 1 and 2.
It's worked out great for Elliott. He's out front.
Nemechek on the inside. Again, trying to battle with Ross
Chastain
for
and
second.
Nemechek for second.
Chasing Chase Elliott.
Elliott's getting away.
Extra room down there, Joe. He didn't want to get me.
Chastain tries to put that side draft back on Nemechek going to 3.
Comes Chandler Smith and Grant Enfinger.
This battle for second is the best thing for Chase Elliott. Watch there be a long green run now.
That hole that they're punching in the air for those cars behind them are allowing them to stay very, very close, and they're just waiting. Which lane do I choose? If you're Chandler Smith, say, which one do I want to go with? Which one's going to clear the other? And they're still side by side.
Chastain around the outside. Still can't clear Nemechek. Not quite. Side draft again.
Chastain, a 3-time winner in the Camping World.
Now Nemechek clears Chastain for second.
Ganassi in the Cup Series currently as Nemechek finally secures that position. Don't have to look too much further back, guys. And Haley Deegan inside the top.
Haley
10,
Deegan's
running
8th.
that
She
one
restarted 10th. She's 8th now.
That's a very good run.
She's not getting a lot of. She's not really getting any stage points this year, but she's getting decent results. This could be another one of those races.
Helped that the most, but definitely a solid run at a tricky racetrack.
Coming off a career best finish, matched her career best a couple of weeks ago in Charlotte, 13th. How about it, Jamie? Good run for the 19-year-old Deegan.
It really has been. I've been keeping my eye on her as she's working methodically through the field, and she's in the top 10 now. Mile-and-a-half tracks have just been their strength this year. 3 of the 4, she's finished in the top 15. Really good feedback. She's got a great spotter in TJ Majors.
TJ's her spotter.
Talking her through every lap, saying she's got more security in the
Future
truck
junior
right
motorsports
now,
driver
and
Haley
that's helped
Deegan.
her
No, she's a
confidence.
Ford driver for a while.
Well, Jamie, a great recovery today.
Put Haley Deegan in the 22 at Penske.
Always so good when
In Xfinity. Do it. I dare you.
early on in this race, they had made
Not yet. She's not ready.
They actually pitted to change the toe. Took
But I could see that happening in the near future.
Well, that has worked out well as they've gotten the speed back.
Who the fuck else is going to wind up with that 22?
Watch that right now for Ross Chastain.
Toe adjustment is not a very normal adjustment that you make during the race. Makes you wonder if you have some kind of, interesting feeling maybe down the straightaway, maybe the truck darting around, things like that.
Truck.
Make you want to change the toe and go down that direction.
Definitely an interesting change, but I'll tell you right now what I'm watching, guys. John Hunter Nemechek is flying. Almost 1 to 3 tenths faster every lap compared to Chase Elliott.
Yeah, Nemechek's running Elliott down.
couple of different pitch strategies.
We've had a lot of different strategies and things go on today, but it's clear Nemechek's better than everybody.
Chase Elliott last pitted on
Chase is pretty good, though.
John Hunter Nemechek last pitted on 63.
It's not going to be easy.
Dane Smith last pitted 10 laps later at 73, and Smith just outside.
Chase got to go watch his dad race tonight.
Zane's got his work cut out.
Still can't believe that's happening.
You know, you talk about the speed that John Hunter has right now. Yes, he's getting some.
How come nobody on this broadcast has mentioned the SRX? Is NASCAR a little bitchy about it? Don't mention the SRX.
We say that all the time, but that is going to be very true here.
How about the 98 of Grant Enfinger running fifth? Grant splitting his season so far between the 98 for Thor Sport and the 9 truck for Cody Robaugh. You look and see what he has done. It is very difficult bouncing back between two different trucks, two different organizations. But Enfinger has done a terrific job. The only race he missed was the Daytona Road Course. So
Bill Elliott will never retire.
Eligible, but it's been
They asked Mark. Somebody asked Mark Martin, "Why aren't you an SRX?" And Mark Martin said, "I just don't want to drive anymore." So Mark Martin would have been in the SRX, but he said he just doesn't want to drive anymore since he's done with it. But it was good to get confirmation from Mark that he's totally done. Kind of already knew he was, but to hear Mark Martin actually say it, I miss Mark Martin.
I think it's just frustrating. It's hard to build a routine from everything as complicated to how the truck handles and what you're looking for out of it, and the relationship with your team, to the simple stuff of, hey,
I want to keep an eye on where Tanner Gray finishes today for how well he ran in the first 2 stages. I know he's on the wrong end of the strategy here, not in the top 10. Hell, not in the top 12 even, but he's 13th. Hope Tanner Gray gets a good top 10 out of this at least. He deserves it. She'd do better in the 98 than Hurst, I guarantee it, yeah. I still don't think she's ready. She needs 2 more years in trucks before I'd put her in an Xfinity car.
Grant's always done a good job here.
Carson Hocevar has appeared.
She needs
in
to
the top 10
mature a
again
little
as
bit.
He continues to deliver week after week after week.
But she's doing things the right way right now in trucks. She's doing a lot of good things. They haven't fucked her up yet, and she hasn't fucked up too bad yet.
Absolutely, Vince, he is. Spoke to Phil Gould right before the race. He was raving about how much of a veteran Carson Hocevar seems like in the truck at only 18 years old. This day today, though, has been a challenge for them. They started this race chattering the front tires through the center of the corners. A lot of work on that truck. At one point, they asked him on a 1 to 5 scale, how much of an adjustment do you need? He said a 4.5. Joey, Brad, you guys know when a driver says that, it's not good.
Yeah, I leave the 4.5 to like the tires blown out.
Racing in his blood early, and he's just 18 years old, and you see what he's done the last 3 races, a couple of top 5s, and the 1 race that he wasn't top 5, he was in the top 10. Just recently picked up his high school diploma. That doesn't make you feel old, guys. And he's out here getting it done in the truck today in Texas. Mom and Dad proud of what Carson has been able to do in limited opportunity. Really making the most of it here with Nice Motorsports. And there is
Zane Smith passes Hocevar for 9th.
Passing Hocevar for 9th. That's Tyler Ankrum.
Race is settling down now. Elliott has still not caught, Nemechek has not caught Elliott. It looked like he was going to catch him, but he got to within about a second now, and it's leveled off. Chase Elliott's running pretty consistent. That top 3 is pretty steady right now.
Everybody's chasing Chase Elliott,
However,
Elliott, first
I'm good with an Elliott win. I'd get $5. I'd rather have the 12 for Ross, though. Ooh, side by side. Can't do any worse than Riley Herbst in that 98, which we'll see Riley Herbst later today in about an hour or so, hour and 20 minutes. I will be taking a break between the truck race and the Xfinity race, and a break between the Xfinity race and the SRX. because after the Xfinity race, I need to take a shower. Hopefully that'll wake me back up and get me through the rest of tonight so I can go to hell later. Here's what I can't figure out, right? I work at Ingalls overnight. It's not like super duper hot in there, but it's always warm in there, and I sweat a little bit. And it's just warm enough in there at night to be uncomfortable. Racist Rally stopped on pit road again. This could bring out a caution. He's on pit road in a pit stall, but he's not moving. It's not his pit stall, I'm pretty sure. But hopefully since he's in a pit stall, they just let it fucking finish out. I do not want to see a yellow here. I'd like to see this race play out because we've had enough cautions to last us a lifetime in this race today. A lot of grass kicked up on the front stretch there. Where the hell did that come from? Who hit the grass and how'd they not tear the splitter off? It's a mystery. We're on Fox Sports. I was going to say for the last time this year, but I forgot that Fox Sports does all the truck races, which is really unfortunate. Hey, Karen. There's another blazing hot day here in North Carolina, but it's even hotter at Texas, so I'm glad I'm not there. Next Friday, trucks in Nashville. NBC comes back for Xfinity and Cup.
We're on FS1, and you see lap 97 of 147. We are in the final stage and still have another round of pit stops. Everybody must pit again to make it to the end. Chase Elliott continues.
Chase Elliott leading.
The most laps today.
Ross Chastain has passed John Hunter Nemechek for second.
John Hunter Nemechek led
Interesting.
Todd Gilliland led 8. Zane Smith, Tanner Gray, Ross Chastain, Ben Rhodes, they've all been out front at one point or another.
Nemechek was hauling ass early in this run. Now he looks tight. He looks really tight. He can't hold the bottom nearly as well as Chastain. You could see that coming out of 2 that time. Well, I wish I was in fucking Pennsylvania. It's hot as shit everywhere else. A car in an IndyCar race on top of the tire barrier. Boy, IndyCar's wilding out.
We'll see what they can do with that truck.
You know, I've been watching some of these trucks, especially down in turns 1 and 2 as these trucks come off of 3 and 4 right now. But down in 1 and 2, there's a lot of trucks moving up into the traction compound. This is one of the longer runs that we've had. As these tires wear out and you find yourself lifting a little bit more, you find yourself searching, looking for something, looking for any kind of grip. And that means that that traction compound's really starting to come in. It says a lot for what the Xfinity race is going to be, as those cars are a lot.
Xfinity race should be really good.
A lot less downforce to these trucks. It'll be a lot slicker. Probably up in it even more.
And you mentioned the Xfinity Series race. It will follow our race here today.
Elliott laps the 56. Ooh, Chastain followed the 56 into 1 and got really tight. It's a lap truck. Chastain's running down Elliott until he got to that 56. They're dealing in lap traffic for the first time today. This is the longest green flag run we've had. And on a 1.5 groove racetrack, lap traffic's not going to be very fun. Elliott gained over half a second that lap when Chastain got tight behind the 56.
It's kind of a weird situation to be in, isn't it? You're used to your team being on your side.
It's a little awkward, but you know what?
Zane Smith passed Haley Deegan for 8th.
Watching your girlfriend date somebody else.
I never watch IndyCar because it's always on during NASCAR stuff, DFS. I like IndyCar. I'd like to watch more, but when NASCAR shit's on, I'm going to watch the NASCAR shit.
Smith needing a good, strong run today. He came into this race just 10.
I was happy to get to watch the Indianapolis 500.
There you go, Joey. They're up in the PJ1 right now. Here you can see they're using different lines. You know, people ask us all the time as race car drivers, especially NASCAR drivers, you know, all you guys do is, you know, make left-hand turns, go on oval tracks, you turn once, you turn twice. This is what makes it difficult. You know, when you're racing road course, the groove usually does not change. On oval, the groove is always changing, especially with dynamic track conditions like we see with the PJ1. And so what made the trucks fast earlier in the race is what might actually make them slow later in the race. So you have to be able to move around and adjust for the handling of your truck. And we're seeing guys do just that right now.
And that was another fine example of
Battle for seconds heating up again. Chastain didn't really catch any breaks through the lap traffic. Chase Elliott drove a little further away, and now Nemechek's back on Chastain. 44 laps to go this time.
Trying to communicate that. It's all fine, small little things. We're talking about a half a tenth of a second.
God, these lap cars are a fucking nightmare, and they're all taking the preferred lane. Norm Benning went to the bottom of 1 and 2 to make them go around him on the outside.
Chastain just ahead of him. Chastain has gotten around Nemechek for second. Regan.
Elliott trying to get a draft off the lap truck in front of him. I don't like that these lappers are making these guys go to the outside. That's very irritating. That ticker's fucked because Chastain is a hell of a lot closer than 1 second. He's got that down to about 3/10 through the traffic now. Now Nemechek's got all 4 wheels in the traction compound looking for a new line, and we cut away from it. Trying to watch the battle for lead in the second position here, but we got to see this replay from like 10, 15 fucking laps ago. Yep, that's sure how he passed him. Oh, look at that! Nemechek passed Chastain while they were showing a replay from 20 laps ago. So Nemechek is up to second again. And Chase Elliott is just in front of them by about 3/10. Oh yeah, Nemechek's committed. He's got all 4 wheels up in that second groove in the traction compound, making it work.
He's going to try to do the same thing here to Chase. So, you know, at this point, this
getting a little more clean air.
Where is he running?
Chase is stuck to the bottom. Nemechek's up high. He's doing it in 3 and 4 as well.
They've really closed the gap on the leader, Chase Elliott.
Yeah, I'd say that sticky shit's come in now pretty well.
Yeah, last lap he was 3/10.
If Nemechek's got the confidence to run up in it like that.
This is going to be a fun battle to watch.
Now Elliott moves up. Chase has got his right sides in it.
As John Hunter was, but enough to take his air and give him.
Yeah, he's just trying to put dirty air on him. That's that valuable cup experience Chase Elliott has where it's all about dirty air and putting the car behind you in it.
As you see teams starting to make those pit stops now as we're in the midst of our longest green flag stretch today, Jamie.
Yeah, pit stops are starting. Ben Rhodes is pitting. He was in the top 10. 40 to go.
So you're going to have a couple groups of trucks here. You're going to have the trucks that pitted with 8 laps to go before the end of the second stage that are going to need fuel before the ones that pitted, 10 or so.
Oh, look at this lapper just kill Nemechek here. Roper. And Chase Elliott stretches his lead out a little bit again.
Little fall off as you have. I think you want to try to stay out as long as you can.
Ross Chastain has hit pit road.
Chastain beats Elliott and Nemechek to pit road. Don't know what it's worth because, like they said, the tire fall off here is not that extreme. Chase Elliott looks like he's going to come to pit road this time. Maybe. He was swinging low going into 3. Yes, Chase Elliott's pitting this time.
Chastain has run twice this season and has had strong results both times, having another good run again today as his teammate Carson Hocevar is in, and Jamie, Chase Elliott is there as well.
Yeah, well, Ben Rhodes pitted early. It got everybody's attention, including our leader, Chase Elliott. They didn't want to keep him
Hey, Major.
long, so they decided to come a few
Everybody's tuning in for the latter part of this race. Like I said, when the truck race is over, I'm taking a break, and then we'll be back for the Xfinity race a little after 4.
He did get a track bar adjustment there.
These green flag pit stops.
Nemechek, the leader, he's not pitted yet. 37 to go. All 4 wheels in the traction compound again. Now he dips low. I'm glad they're getting this track really rubbered in before the Xfinity race.
Run of the day. I mentioned that earlier, so that could mean that we could continue on under green, or we're due for a caution. One of the two.
I'd err on the side we're due for a yellow, but, Haley Deegan on pit road. Nemechek still hasn't pitted.
Austin Hill in the 16 is losing the nose a bit. They've been working on this truck to keep up with the racetrack. Hasn't been terrible. They've made some gains, but still needs help.
Haley Deegan in the 1 as well.
Slow pit stop for Haley Deegan.
All these trucks that have pitted are now a lap down. So you look at Chase Elliott, who was the leader in the race. He's trapped a lap down. So if the yellow does come out right now, it'll be very hard for him to overcome it. And that's what John Hunter Nemechek is really hoping for and counting on. He's going to look like run this stage long, run this pit cycle long, and see if he can't trap some guys a lap down and take back that track position.
How about it, Regan?
Well, Brad's exactly right. Eric Phelps just came on the radio as soon as the 24 of Chase Elliott peeled off the pit and said, listen, John Hunter, I need you to crank out some really good laps for me right here. They're going to try and leapfrog him by cranking out fast laps right now.
Trying to tell Nemechek to run as fast as he can by himself in this clean air before they pit. Still haven't pitted. 34 to go.
Chase Elliott's 30.88. So even on new tires, Chase Elliott is slower right now than John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, that's because of what you see right here. He goes in the corner, 4 tires up in that track.
In-finger pitting. One of the last trucks to pit. He's shaking. I think he's out of gas.
Shaking the truck around, maybe out of gas.
Might be. Might be stumbling.
98 might have stumbled coming to pit road here.
Might not have had it as full as they needed it to.
Johnny Sauter on pit road.
Brent Enfinger in the 98. Johnny Sauter coming in as well, but Enfinger saying the truck is good. Don't mess with it. You guys were talking about his numbers and jumping back and forth between 2 teams. His numbers are about the same, and he's doing it all with a smile on his face. Great guy all around, having a decent day tonight.
So only, 9, 8 trucks on the lead lap now?
And John Hunter is flying. He's got clean air. The way it's cycled.
This is not a bad move by Nemechek, but it just really shits all over the fact that the tire wear on this track is terrible. Haley Deegan's back on pit road. I don't know what happened here.
We got an issue for Haley Deegan here on pit road.
They had a really slow stop before, and now she's back. And she's over the line. She's got to back it up. She's over the line.
A mess, whatever's going on.
Well, that's her day ruined.
He can go. He last pitted on 60.
And she looked like she might be able to get a top 10 out of this.
Right near the end of his potential run.
Yeah, he's only got 5 or 10 laps left here before he's got to come. But by the looks of it, he's going to run.
Tyler Ankrum slid through his pit box.
Tyler Ankrum is in. Brad, you seem like throughout your course of your career, we've talked about you in this kind of strategy, running while others pit, staying out and trying to make it work.
Yeah, there's a level of comfort.
It's a Team Penske thing. Brad and Joey both do that shit.
I've always felt like tracks where the tires don't fall off. When you pit too early, you just always find yourself getting caught in different scenarios that you don't have control over. And now sometimes you give up time running along like this, but it's nice to not have to worry about a yellow coming out. It's nice to be able to kind of control your own destiny.
I don't know if you know this about Brad, though. He just likes being different sometimes.
Yeah.
When we first started being teammates, he said, you can't be better, Joey, if you're not different.
Well, there's one thing I figured out in my life. It's how to be different.
It's not always better, but you can be different.
That's right.
Well, there's been a lot of Twitter reaction.
So Elliott's in front of Chastain, but it's going to be interesting to see if Nemechek cycles out in front of both of them.
Yeah, we have. That's good.
They said he seems to be faster than them anyway, even though he's on older tires, but he's out there by himself in clean air.
That's part of it. Todd Gilliland, great view from his.
Boy, can they park to 6? He is so slow.
Through traffic, as you see on the pylon, the last lap pitted by those that are in the top 20. So John Hunter leading the race, but still has to pit, as does Zane Smith, Gilliland, Gray, right on down the list until you get to Chase Elliott.
Yeah, the top 7, Nemechek, Smith, Gilliland, Tanner Gray, Josh Berry, Matt Craft, and Chase Purdy. They've got a pit.
Chase Elliott, who I think had a really fast truck, has pitted. He's running 31.49. He just lost a second that last lap to John Hunter Nemechek. So this strategy,
I think Nemechek will cycle through and be the leader and probably win the race without a yellow.
John Hunter Nemechek.
Honestly, with or without a yellow, I think Nemechek's going to win it. Here comes Nemechek to pit road. Now we'll see where they cycle through.
So John Hunter Nemechek on pit road for his final stop. Want to make sure no penalties here. Don't get caught speeding.
Come on, speed, goddammit.
Take care of business without a mistake.
If Chastain wins, I get $12. If Chase wins, I get $5. Come on.
Win of the season. Regan Smith is awaiting the John Hunter pit.
I like John Hunter, but I need something to happen here.
He came on the radio and said, I gotta come right now to the pit stall because that truck sounded like it may have bobbled on fuel just a little bit. As for the
It just thundered outside my house. I wish a storm would come through here and knock the power out in Eagles tonight so I don't have to fucking work.
I wouldn't change much. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Absolutely solid stop. Chase Elliott is just now at the start-finish line. So
Yeah, Nemechek's going to be the leader here.
like we said, John Hunter Nemechek is going to come out with a sizable lead here.
You know, they brought something there.
Nice strategy.
Stumbling maybe out of gas, before he pitted right there and making a quick decision to come down pit
How
road,
far
which is a
ahead will he
great move
be?
for John Hunter Nemechek. But also, you know, as a crew chief, you don't have practice. You don't really know what your fuel mileage numbers are sometimes throughout these races if you don't have practice. So, you know, I think that's why you see that catch some guys off guard every now and again right now.
Tanner Gray has come to pit road as well. Now Todd Gilliland comes. Zane Smith is out front, and he still has to pit.
That's a joke I'll never get
well.
tired of making when they say, "Oh, he's coming."
It's
like, "Oh, he is." Ew.
Strong day, Vince, but they've been struggling with rear grip just a little bit. In particular, entry of the corners. Everything they've done has hurt the center of the corners for this truck. Right now, the rear grip just came in at the very end of that run, but he's still too tight in the middle of the corners.
Zane Smith is your leader, but still.
Zane Smith and Josh Berry still have not pitted.
We're going to go to break, but you won't miss a thing. Going to stay side.
Gotta keep on trucking. 24 to go. You know, I'm kind of hoping for a yellow now just because it would fuck this race up and put Zane Smith and Josh Berry in front of everybody. 23 laps to go. Ooh, that was almost a caution right there. Who was that? Is that Kraus? No. God, everybody's trucks look the same to me. Josh Berry on pit road. Gas only on Josh Berry? They must not think too much of tires. Gas only on Josh Berry. Nemechek trying to unlap himself around Zane Smith. Oof. Thought they were going to come together there. Zane Smith coming to pit road now. Nemechek's got about a 1.5-second lead over Chase Elliott now. 21 to go. So if you're hoping for an alternative, you're going to need a yellow. I'm kind of hoping for one now. So this weather. There was a lot more to talk about earlier in this race before most of y'all showed up here. We were yapping about the SRX and traction compound and blah, blah, blah. Now this race played out about how I expect. I said there'd be a lot of cautions, and there were, but we've been green through all of stage 3. 20 to go. It's the Camping World 20 to go. Camping World sponsoring the SRX tonight.
Back at Texas Motor Speedway, the Camping World Truck Series.
Yep. Chase Elliott is about 2 seconds back from John Hunter.
Leading Chase Elliott. There's a look at Nemechek in that.
Like I said, John Hunter, I like him so much. He's making the Truck Series so boring, though. It's killing me.
Elliott, the defending Cup Series champ, making his first Camping World Truck Series.
Tanner Gray's 11th. I said I wanted to keep an eye on where he was going to wind up today because he's had such a good race.
You know, the impact of the pandemic on youth sports has been significant, and while recovery has started in some communities, kids most in need are still on the sidelines. We encourage you to visit goodsports.org to learn how you can help Fox Sports and Good Sports restore play for at-risk youth and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Please check it out, goodsports.org. John Hunter Nemechek just turned 24 years old yesterday.
He's only 24.
To celebrate his birthday, I was visiting.
I'm an old man. I'm 27.
And he had pictures on his phone of his daughter Aspen, who was born on March 31st, and how proud he is, as you, Joey and Brad, know, the new dad for the very first time. How exciting that is.
It changes everything. Everything.
This changes everything.
Changes as soon as you have kids. That is for sure. And it's awesome.
You learned dad jokes.
Yes.
No doubt. Got a great battle here with the 16. Austin Hill making a big run here. Trying to see if we can take a look back at it. So he's going to get hit from behind that right rear quarter panel.
Austin Hill tried to block Austin Wayne's self into the lap truck, the 56, and they touched. Touch, hit, as Benny Parsons once said.
Similar situation down the back stretch didn't end so pretty though.
No, it did not. But all these guys are battling right in that 5th place range, 4th, 5th.
Can't get around this fucking 56.
Move around, trying to find
Ah, the 3 pushed up the track. I thought he was going to wipe out in finger.
Everyone's just trying to keep momentum.
That was in turns 1 and 2, where that would most likely be the case.
Just a few seconds back. He wants these guys to race each other real hard, so maybe he can catch him.
Yeah, Infinger in that 98 is running 4th, and Austin Hill is 5th. And Chase Elliott continues to chase John Hunter Nemechek in the lap times, and the margin of deficit for Chase Elliott as he
2 seconds, 15 to go.
Yeah, it's definitely increasing. And I got to give a lot of credit here to John.
Well, Michael, you're going to wind up like me and finish second, like always.
Great pit call. He was faster than Chase Elliott the whole time this stage, but he needed to get in front of him. He didn't have that clean air, so they made the pit call there. They ran the stage long, or the cycle long, and that was really big as Ben Rhodes has made contact with the wall down the front stretch here.
Brad says Ben Rhodes hit the wall.
Contact on the right side. See if that doesn't bring out a caution.
Pretty significant contact there, NASCAR. I'd have to consider putting out a yeller. No, that's not going to bring out a caution. Unless he just shreds a tire going down the back here. Yeah, Ben Rhodes has pancaked the right side of his truck. Unfortunately, he's going to make it to pit road. Tough scene. Yeah, Michael, we need a caution. That was our shot, and it's not going to happen now because Rhodes made it to the pits.
16th place finish earlier this season at Atlanta, but won the first 2 races of the season. And
tough scene. 12 laps to go. And Josh Berry's 11th on his fuel-only strategy.
Ben Rhodes, before the race started, his average finish going into Texas has been 6.2. I mean, that is definitely rocking.
You had to say that, Joey, didn't you?
Well, it's not going to be as good this race, but...
I really wish Ross Chastain didn't pick the outside line at the start of this stage and literally give up the lead before he could ever even try to keep it.
With 12 to go, and second place Chase Elliott about 2.5 seconds behind. Ross Chastain down from the Cup Series, running 3rd.
Damn Cup drivers are running 2nd and 3rd.
Chases up there in that traction
I forget
compound.
that Ross is a Cup driver. I'm not used to classifying him as a Cup driver, but he is. 42, and the Cup has been very good lately. Ganassi is trending in the right direction, if you ignore the engine problems they had at Charlotte.
3-time winner in the Camping World Truck Series is Chastain.
10 laps to go.
These folks always thrilled to have him in the truck any chance they get him. Camping World 10 to go at Texas Motor Speedway. John Hunter Nemechek seeking his 4th win of the season. We showed you the numbers on Grant Enfinger earlier this season and what he's done in splitting his season between the 98 and the 9, and another stellar run today inside the top 5 here with just under 10 to go.
And Austin Hill just behind him, the 16. You guys have been battling.
I like Austin Hill's paint scheme.
Looks like it's settled in a little bit.
And I like that it looks like he's got his name on the truck if you don't look close enough.
He needed a big run today. He's been right outside that bubble.
It's like those stupid kid-friendly race cars because they couldn't put Budweiser on a Dale Jr. car, so it would say Dale Earnhardt Jr. instead of Budweiser on it.
Out front for 8 laps earlier today, and they've shown speed again today. It was reported down from pit road. Regan Smith indicating they've had some...
Random question. How come in NASCAR 2005, Mark Martin always runs like shit?
It's been another solid run for the...
He was good in 04, but he runs like shit in the game.
Maybe not contending for the win today, but he has led a dozen laps.
One moment.
Tyler Ankrum, another one of those drivers fighting and clawing to try to get himself above the playoff cut line.
Yeah, just going to chip out some more points here today on Johnny Sauter. This is only going to get tighter if we finish the way we're running right now for that playoff cut battle, because both Zane Smith, or Chandler Smith, I should say, and Tyler Ankrum are just gaining points on that cutoff line, and it's going to be a really good battle all the way to the playoff start.
You got Johnny Sauter, don't forget him, 13th right there as well.
Just ticking the laps down.
Tanner Gray today, also in that 15 truck.
Yeah, all those DGR or David Gillen Racing trucks have looked good at certain points today. You know, Haley Deegan had a good run going. She had some issues here on pit road. Not sure exactly.
Haley Deegan probably should have finished between 10th and 12th today, but it fell apart in the pits.
You know, we said the track temp's 135 degrees right now. It's very warm here in Texas. Tires are starting to fall off. Cars are searching around. This traction compound has become
5 laps to go. 3-second lead for Nemechek over Elliott. Boy, I'd kill to see a caution. Somebody do something.
But when you gotta work traffic like these two are, you just gotta find wherever you can go. This is gonna be a good run, Zane Smith.
Zane Smith, Todd Gillen. Yeah, the battle for 7th right now is pretty good. Ben Rhodes is slow on the apron again. Come on, damn it. We need something to happen. 4 to go. Good God. The battle for 7th just came out of turn 2, and Nemechek just hit 4 to go at the start-finish line.
Boxed him out a little bit under the hoop and drives away.
You know a lot about basketball.
Yeah, not very much.
Big baller?
Yeah, not very much, but I do know that part. And I know I'm not very good at it.
Oh, yeah, I remember I saw Brad throw a basketball once.
There's no slam dunks coming on this side of the booth, all right?
Yeah, Vince, you know, you're an Indiana guy. You know the hoops. But
That's exactly right. But Joey, I think that was extremely cruel of you to bring that up to your teammate there, Brad.
Typical Joey Logano cheap shot.
Friends like this, who needs enemies, guys?
I'm just smart enough not to have that stuff on camera for me. I can't say I'm any better.
White people.
So far with 3 to go. You know, John Hunter, speaking of friends,
2 laps to go. God damn it.
Plane ride from Kyle Busch on the way to the Cup races.
I feel good about my pick today, even though I'm not winning.
Having conversations about John Hunter's future and those
Whoa! Whoa! The 3 just about took out Nemechek. Did you see that shit? And the announcers didn't even notice it. The 3 truck, Nemechek was going around the outside of the 3 and damn near got took out. God, that would have been incredible to see, because they were on Nemechek's onboard when it happened. 1 to go, credit 1 bank, blah, blah, blah.
You're leading the race, driving away. That is the last thing you want to see.
4.5 second lead here, thereabouts.
Get a shot at the NASCAR Xfinity Series level wins.
John Hunter was in a league of his own today. He got stuck in traffic a lot on strategy calls. But gonna win the race. Good for the Romco people. KBM wins again.
Just a dominant run. I mean, he was the fastest truck almost the whole race. Ran really smart in traffic, and his crew chief here, Eric Phillips, excellent pit call to help make sure he cycled to the lead and drove away.
That was a very fast truck. I tell you what, that thing was rocking and rolling that last run. Once he kind of figured out that top side in 1 and 2, it seemed like that was the game-changing moment for John Hunter in this race, and he started laying down some serious laps.
Hey, don't put it so long for these Romco people right in front of us.
Yeah, he knows those Romco employees and fans are right there in front of him, and they're going to enjoy this burnout. 10th career win for John
Well,
Hunter.
boys and girls, that was decidedly anticlimactic. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this stream a little short. I'm not going to hang around for post-race interviews. I'm going to take a break. My food just got here. I'm going to go eat. And I'll be back in a little less than an hour for the Xfinity race. So